the Travelers by Rizal, like to a leaf that is fallen and withered, tossed by the tempest from pole unto pole. Has roams the pilgrim abroad without purpose, roams without love, without country or soul.
Following anxiously treacherous fortune which even as he grasps as it flees, vain though the hopes that his yearning is seeking, yet does the pilgrim embark on the seas.
Ever impelled by the invisible power, destined to roam from east to the west, oft he remembers the faces of loved ones, dreams of the day when he too is at rest.
Chance may assign him a town under the sea, grant him a final asylum of peace. Soon by the word in his country forgotten, God rests his soul when his wandering cease.
Often the sorrowing pilgrim is in bed, circling the globe like a seagull above. Little they know what a void saddens his soul by the absence of love. May the pilgrim return in the future, back to his loved ones, his footstep he bends. Not will he find but the snow and the ruins, ashes of love and the tomb of his friend.
Pilgrim begun, no return more after. Stranger thou art in the land of thy birth. Other may sing of their love while rejoicing, though once again must roam over the earth.
Pilgrim began nor return more hereafter, dry are the tears that awhile for run. Pilgrim began and forgot teen affliction, loud laughed the word that sorrows of man.
Good day everyone, I am Zoe and Isabel Borraros with my group mates Marian Amor Soriano, John Carlo Natividad, and Mark Angelo Dupulan, and for this video we are going to make a research video about the song of The Traveler by Rizal. So I hope that you watch this video until the end so that you can learn more about this poem. Thank you!
The Song of the Traveler by El Canto del Viajero is a poem written by Dr. Rizal on December 17, 1895. He sympathizing the loneliness of a wanderer of traveler regardless of the enjoyment of freedom from being far. It is about the life of being a traveler and how to manage and surpass all the obstacles along the way.
During the of the Cuban Revolution, Rizal offered his service as a military doctor to compromise with the shortage of physicians in the said country. It was his friend Ferdinand Blumentritt who informed him of the situation in Cuba and suggested that he can volunteer himself as an army doctor. The Song of the Traveler was written in Cuba and was published on December 29, 1903 in El Renacimiento. He wrote this while waiting for the result of his request to free him in his exile in the capital, so that he can go home gladly on his country. This literary work is dedicated to his beloved country and also for his loved ones whom he left there. So let us know about our own interpretation of why Rizal entitled this poem The Song of the Traveler. So in our own interpretation about this poem, we've thought that maybe our hero is lamentating or expressing his grief and sorrow of being a traveler and leaving his country. He wrote this to express his feelings and thoughts every time he travels.
Stanza basically describe Rizal. He is like a leaf that has fallen from the tree, Philippines, and fall from a whole new different land, countries he'd gone. He rambled around without any purpose, faced a new world without love, without his beloved country, and without his soul.
Rizal is following the needs of his profession. He is living for progress and improvement, yet his fate is making its own ways. He'll always seek for hope, even though it is constantly fleeing away from his bare hands. Rizal also always sees himself leaving marks on the seas of his travels.
There's always an unknown force that is pulling our hero to keep on traveling the world, from east to the west. Although Rizal never forgets the faces of his loved ones and always dreams about being with them when the days were good and the time was gold.
In this stanza, he is praying and seeking any chance that God can give him. He is praying asylum or protection and peace that even his own country will forget about this existence. He can say, at least, that he did what he can, and the only thing that can finally stop his wandering, and may God let his soul rest.
There is suffering from being envy and is full of sorrow. He's like a bird flying around, but what people don't know is emptiness Rizal feels the dispiriting heart in the absence of love.
Rizal is scared that when the future prevails that he'll be able to go home. Who knows, he might see his friends in their tombs and his loved ones being the ashes in the wind.
He is afraid that his own country might abandon him and make him go away. He became a stranger in his own land, the place where he was raised and born. Though his fellow countrymen can express their love for their beloved country, Rizal can't, because once again, he will leave the Philippines and be a wanderer as he is.
Go away, pilgrim. Don't you think on coming back eventually? Tears had a run through his face while the world is laughing at the sorrows of the man.
My favorite line in the poem of Song of Traveler by Rizal. Like to a leaf that is fallen and withered, tossed by the tempest from pole unto pole, has roamed the pilgrims abroad without purpose, roams without love, without country or soul. The connection of poem about me is the journey to a sacred place for our religious reasons, to walk, go, or travel without fixed purposes or direction, ramble and wander, move about or travel aimless or especially over a wide area.
My favorite line is in the third stanza, which is ever impelled by the invisible power. The significance of this line on me is that sometimes is being impelled by unknown forces that makes me do things that will improve me, yet feeling sad and guilty about some things like my family.
The line that is I like the most or my favorite is in the first stanza. The first line in there is like to a leaf that is fallen in wind. So I think that this line has a significant connection to me because like Rizal, I am also a leaf. I am a leaf from my parents, from God, and from our country. Falling and being withered as a leaf is part of life. We are somehow plants. It is part of our process and surely will have a new journey to begin and to be faced. The values and lesson that we have learned in this poem is the strong patriotism character of our hero. Even he learned and have been to many countries and different parts of the world, he never forgets where he came from and where he bloomed as a person he is in that time. He also has a strong and unbreakable love for his family and for the people that are important to him. In our generation, we should possess these kinds of values and characteristics because as the world is constantly changing, so are our values. Let us appreciate and give pride to our country and be as lovable and thoughtful as Rizal to his family.
My interpretation in the poem is it is lonely and hard when you are in abroad that no one helps you because you didn't know the people around you. Your enemy is the homesick, but no matter how hard it is, you need to fight for your loved ones. The poem is beautiful to know that people in abroad is not rich. They are taking the hard work for their loved ones in abroad.
my overall interpretation of Jose Rizal's poem. He was true Filipino who truly loved his country, and he also educated person. The poem mainly revolves around the loneliness of an immigrant or traveler. Rizal captures the image of being outsider and far away from loved ones, and he may feel like he has no purpose or it's useless. It's very difficult to feel welcome because there is no sense of belongingness. He was about trying to find happiness in a foreign place, but it seems like it can never be satisfying as being in a motherland. Because of this, being a traveler he described by Rizal can become very lonesome.
Only the happy memories of his loved ones keep him company. A traveler becomes very nostalgic when he has been away for a very long time. In Rizal's poem, he has thoughts about how maybe death will end his pain and sufferings. However, dying in a foreign land will be a huge waste because no one will remember him and he will just be soon forgotten by the people back in his motherland. If people were to be jealous of traveler, they do not understand how lonesome and alienating a journey can be without loved ones to support the traveler. He wants to return to his country after a long time, however it will never be the same as before. People change and they may have forgotten about you and move on. Being a stranger to your own land could be a sad truth for being a traveler.